Gravity Falls has many mysteries, but one of the big mysteries that was unsolved by the show, besides Grunkle Stan's ex-wife, is what the shapeshifter said in the season 2 episode Into the Bunker. Remember to check out the ex-wife video though, it's pretty good IMO. After the gang defeats and traps the shapeshifter, he then says this. You think you're clever, don't you? But you have no idea what you're up against. You'll never find the author. If you keep digging, you'll meet a fate worse than you can imagine. And this will be the last form you ever take.
Good luck sleeping tonight.
As he transforms into a frozen screaming version of Dipper Pines, the character from Gravity Falls. Now, as most fans may know, this comes up only once again in the franchise with the episode Northwest Mansion Mystery. After Dipper tries to take down this grudge-filled ghost, Dipper fails and is turned into wood in the exact same way. Same pose and even having a weird reverb to his voice. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, well, where's the mystery there? And I say, where's not the mystery? There's so many strange things about this that I'll talk about after this sponsor. If I had any! The exact words the shapeshifter said was, you'll never find the author. If you keep digging, you'll meet a worse fate than you can imagine, and this will be the last form you ever take. The Northwest Mansion Mystery episode has literally nothing to do with the digging of the author, first of all, but more importantly, isn't the last form he takes? Pacifica then pulls the lever to find her family for the first time in generations, which frees all those turned to wood as the ghost feels lumber justice.
I feel lumber justice.
So then he's just wrong about it, whatever he may be saying. But then how in the actual pine tree did he know that Dipper would take that exact pose and reverb? The fact that he is a shapeshifter gives no reason that he should be able to predict the future, and yet he did, and was wrong at the same time. Like, I know in real life it's likely the team decided that this would be a good moment for the fans to notice, like when Ford sprayed the cipher wheel and did a whole spiel of how it works. But just like that, I have to ask, what even? It's something that doesn't get used at all in the way it was set up, only to show it as a reference to the seed being planted. So then why does this wood scene happen at all in the canon of the show? In real life we know it was because of the setup, but in the show it makes it out to be that the shapeshifter can predict the future somewhat, and yet he still gets defeated several times. It's obvious that the shapeshifter did it as an intimidation, just to scare Dipper, just like he did before when he changed forms into this horrifying Dipper and Mabel fusion. This horrifying Dipper and Mabel fusion. Like, that's the obvious intention of the scene. The shapeshifter even says he'll never find the author just to get to him. And I think he does this even more because of his hatred towards the author.
But I do thank you for bringing me his journal. He used to write it while I was in my cage. That six-fingered nerd hasn't been himself in 30 years.
Seeing Dipper as him to the point of taking out his years of anger to torment this child. But then there's always a scene of it actually happening to Dipper in a Northwest Mansion. The mystery here is that if the shapeshifter is indeed not able to see the future, why then does his prediction come true? In the lore of the show, it only makes sense as a wildly specific coincidence. In real life, it's obvious that the behind-the-scenes reason for it is just because they could connect it. But for something that a monster predicted saying that it'll be the death of the main character is kinda wild when it means literally nothing. In this show that has hyper-specific details and puzzle made for an audience of screenshotters and decoders. I said that this is one mystery that the fans haven't solved, but just like some real-life conspiracy mysteries, it could just be a coincidence. But hey, make sure you go check out my actual theory about Grunkle Stan's ex-wife. Even if you know the answer, I promise you there's something you haven't seen yet applied to that interesting theory. If there's literally nothing new, you have my permission to comment "seen it" on the video, just so I know how lame I am. Also, thank you guys for an amazing reception on the last video I did like this. I hope to make more like it as long as you guys keep enjoying it. I know these thumbnails are a trend right now, but hey, as long as I can talk about hyper-specific Gravity Falls topics and get people to watch, I don't see why I shouldn't, you know? By the way, I really just like the thumbnails from an aesthetic YouTuber perspective. It makes everything so much easier to understand, which is what you want from a thumbnail. Anyways, remember, it's the matter of what you make it. Have a good time.